Hello everybody, I'm JackieKCooper and this is my entertainment rundown. There's a movie out called Midsommar, Midsommar. It's the Swedish spelling and pronunciation of midsummer, but Midsommar. And it was reportedly going to be the scariest movie that I would see all year. It's done by the same guy who did the film Hereditary, which was also supposed to be one of the scariest movies you'd ever see, and I didn't find it that scary. But I was a little apprehensive going to see this movie because horror movies are not my thing, especially gory horror movies really are off limits, but I see them. But anyway, I went in to see this, and it's about a group of college students or grad students, who are all friends. The main characters are played by Florence Pugh and Jack Rayner, and they have kind of a on-off relationship. But they have three friends. One of them is from Sweden, and he is going back. He was raised in kind of a commune, and they always have a summer festival, and so he invites his friends to go along with them. And so they all go to Sweden and go to this commune. And it takes place, everything is bright and sunny. The people who are in the commune dress mainly in white robes or white outfits. And as the movie progresses, there's just something a little bit off-putting about it all. And so you kind of get tense. So, but the movie itself, is more psychological than visually, horrific, and I can take the psychological effects a lot more than like I said, seeing gore or something like that. Florence Pugh, I've seen her in the TV series The Little Drummer Girl. She was also in a Netflix movie about the Scottish king. I can't remember his name, but I've seen her, and she hasn't impressed me that much. She, again, in this movie, she plays her part, and the part is written for a character who is almost on the verge of hysteria at all times. So Florence Pugh captures that. Then there's Jack Rayner. Again, I hadn't seen him in anything. He's okay in his role also. There is an actor, Will Poulter, who, if you saw his face, you'd recognize him. He's been in several movies. He always is really interesting when you see him. He's usually half crazed for one reason or another. In this one, though, he's just ordinary, and he doesn't have much of a role at all. And when I saw he was in the cast, I got really excited because I did, look forward to seeing him create another offbeat character, but he doesn't in this film. The cinematography is good. The direction for what the story is, I guess, is okay. The film is rated R for profanity, violence, and nudity. I scored it 5 out of 10. It held my interest. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't the scariest movie I'm ever going to see. By a long shot, it's not. So, again, if you like psychological thrillers, things that might linger in your mind long after you leave the movie theater, then you might enjoy this movie. But for me, it was just average. Then we have a film called Lying and Stealing. It stars Theo James, and the first time I saw Theo James was in the movie Diversity. It was one of those movies about a dystopian future, and I think he and Shailene Woodley were the two leads in that movie, and he came across pretty good. I thought he was going to have a career, but it kind of went after that. He didn't make anything of real importance, and now he's kind of making these low-budget movies, of which this is one. He plays a guy who's indebted, or his father is indebted to an art dealer, a guy who sells art, and the way that he's trying to pay off the debt is he is stealing art from different homes and then giving it to this guy who then sells it, and so he's trying to work off the debt. When he goes to to find the art that the man wants him to get, he goes to these big swanky parties, and at one of these parties, he meets a woman played by Emily Ratajkowski, and she's very beautiful, and she, falls in with his schemes, and they're trying to find a way out for him, while the dealer that he's dealing with, the art dealer, gets more and more intense and demands more and more of him. And so it's just a caper movie, trying to, do these different illegal jobs to pay off an illegal debt. And you'll see where that goes. But the acting is pretty good in this. But the plot just didn't do anything for me. I thought, I have seen movies like this over and over and over, and the actors and, the look of the film are not enough to lift it up. The film is rated R for profanity and violence. I scored it 4 out of 10, below average. I just could not get into it like I wanted to. Theo James should be doing better, movies than this. Finally, we have The Fall of the American Empire. This is a movie that's written and directed by, a fairly famous director named Dennis Arcand. The film is, takes place in Canada. It's all in French, which is a beautiful language to me. I love just to hear the sound of the language. It's got subtitles. Some people are just turned off immediately when you say it has subtitles, but for me, something in my brain clicks. I'm watching it, and I forget that I'm reading the titles. It's like I'm hearing it in English. But this movie just fascinated me. It's about a young guy played by, let me get his name, Alexander Landry. He drives like a FedEx or UPS truck. It's just a delivery truck. And he has all of these views about how society is failing itself. We have a homeless population that's expanding. The government does not do enough to take care of people. People are not kind enough to each other. But he drives his truck. He's educated, but one of the things he says is, I could teach school, but I make more money as a delivery person than I do with as a school teacher. So he's content with his life. Not content. He's not content with the wrongs that society foist upon the population, but he's doing what he can do, and he helps out with the homeless. He, serves food, to the homeless where they can come in through the church or whatever. So he's caught up in this life, and then there's, at the same time that he's involved in his life, there's a robbery being planned, and where a lot of money is stolen. And somehow the two stories converge, and the movie takes it from there. I was fascinated by this movie. I was fascinated by just the words that came out of the character's mouth, the performance by Alexander Landry, and his leading lady in the film is a woman named Maripier Morin. She is drop dead gorgeous and has a huge career ahead of her. But the two of them, their relationship in the movies, I've talked in the past about the chemistry between actors. These two people have it in this film. He is kind of your average looking young man. She is a beauty, but they find a connection in their spirits, in their outlook, in their goals, or whatever. I don't remember ever seeing a Dennis Arcand movie. I know he did Barbarians at the Gate. I don't remember that I ever got to see that film, but I'm putting him on my list of great directors based on this movie alone, The Fall of the American Empire. And first when I saw it, I thought, why? It doesn't take place in the United States. Why is it called The Fall of the American Empire? Well, it's North America. Canada's North America, so it is the American Empire in that respect. The film is rated R for profanity, violence, and nudity. I scored this one 8 out of 10. This is one of the best movies I have seen this year. I raved last week about Wild Rose, which I still hope y'all get a chance to see. But this one is also going on my best of the year list as of now. The Fall of the American Empire, rated R, gets a score of 8 out of 10. So those are another group of 3 movies, one that is really good and the other 2 not as much. But Please subscribe to our channel because we come out with these movie reviews 1 or 2 times a week, and hope that you will keep up with it. But this has been Jackie K. Cooper's Entertainment Rundown.